Follow the tape, Omar Juarez and Kevin Shax. Juarez only 20 years old, a motivational speaker at the age of 20. Impressive young man going up against Kevin Shax, 29 years old, both about the same height. Reach advantage goes to Shax, who is coming in with a record of 3-4-3. Juarez 5-0. Let's go to Jimmy Lennon.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the MGM Grand Inn, Las Vegas Premier Boxing Champions presents the Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view prelims featured attraction. Judging at ringside for this bout, we have Max DeLuca, Chris Flores, and Steve Weisfeld. All right, fans, here we go. 6 rounds of boxing super lightweights in the ring. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with silver trim, hailing from Lansing, Michigan. He weighed in at 143.5 pounds. His record: 3 wins, 4 losses, 3 draws, with 3 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome Kevin Gamebred Shax. His opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner in this 6-round attraction, wearing blue trunks, white and gold trim, hailing from Brownsville, Texas. He weighed in at 142.5 pounds, undefeated at 5 wins, no losses, 3 wins coming by way of knockout tonight, making his Las Vegas debut. Please welcome the rising undefeated super lightweight prospect, Omar El Relámpago Juarez. Introducing our judge, our referee now to give instructions. 6 rounds of boxing, we have Vic Draculich.
Down the ring, guys. All right, gentlemen, this fight's scheduled for 6 rounds. You received your instructions in the dressing room. Again, I want to caution you. Any punches below this point here are going to be called low. Any punch below this point will be called low. With that said, I want you to obey my commands. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch them up now. Good luck to both of you.
Brian Kenny, Joe Goosson, and Lennox Lewis, former heavyweight champion here. Wilder Ortiz 2 tonight on pay-per-view. You can see the crowd still coming in here tonight. They'll fill it up a little later on. The unified rules are in effect here as we get fight number, where are we, 4. We've had some interesting fights already, fellas. And here's Omar Juarez.
With a couple of surprises. Now, Juarez, don't blink because he can really fight.
You can see how fast he is. You know, with first 3 punches he throws.
Yeah, and he will go to that left hook to deliver that double hook all night long. Now, he's got to be careful he doesn't drop that right hand when he goes to that body, which he does every so often, but he's a very high energy, high output, very aggressive fighter that can punch.
I mentioned he's a motivational speaker. Graduated high school at 16. He's already earned good body shot. He's already earned a proclamation of recognition from the Texas State Senate. He is a very impressive young man, and he comes out firing in round 1.
Yeah, and he's in there with a real tough kid. You know, Kevin Shax, you know, went up against a kid named Alejandro Ramos, who was 8-0 at the time with 8 knockouts. And he was the first guy that took him the distance. Even going, he just got backed up there with a nice
hard hook. Oh, look at this. Body shots, and down he goes right there. Just breaking him down. Juarez is way too fast, way too strong.
This doesn't happen to Shax too often, let me tell you. He's a very durable fighter.
He has waited for this moment, said one day I'll fight at the MGM Grand, but Juarez right away, firing. Hard body shot again, crippling hook. And a body shot again, left to the body.
Yeah, don't blink, this guy puts everything into his punches.
These are all hard shots, they're fast. It's a withering body attack by Omar Juarez. Shax in survival mode, and there's a lot of time. We're only halfway through the first round.
Let me tell you, Juarez is throwing every punch with some strength and, you know, speed. Every time he throws to the body, you know, he's trying to break a rib, it looks like.
Yeah. You can see that right elbow by Shax is keeping that down, saying, don't hit me there again. That was blocked again. It drove back. Another body shot. Versatile attack by Juarez as well.
He turns southpaw for a second.
Yep. Switches around, he'll do that. And he does it to good effect. Body and then head. Juarez now out of the southpaw stance, and down goes Shax for the 2nd time this round. This won't last long.
No, Shax looks like he's had enough, to tell you the truth.
Let me tell you, Juarez is coming with some serious power, because when you see the effects, what it does to Shax, you know, Shax's body's trembling and moving. And plus he's got slippery shoes as well, so he doesn't have no ground to stand on.
Oh, good right hand by Shax right there.
29 years old, he's the older man. He's in survival mode. looks like he's in over his head here against a young prospect, no doubt.
Omar Juarez is a really, really classic fighter. I just love the way.
He is sliding, Lennox. Look at that.
Yeah.
I didn't notice. I mean, he has no grip at all. That's disastrous against a kid like this.
It's almost like he's on skates.
Yeah, no, I mean, and
He's
against,
on ice.
And against Juarez, that is dangerous. Looks like he could survive this round, which was doubtful for a good part of this one. He sucks in a little more air. He took some hard body shots.
I know, listen. Listen, don't worry about it. Listen, don't worry about it. Deep breath. Listen, deep breath.
All right, here's the first knockdown. And of course, the highly aggressive Juarez, bam, he just slips right into the body. Hands come down a little bit from Shaxs. Right hand, gets the elbow with the hook, but then sneaks that little left hook right through the guard and drops him down.
And here's Juarez with the onslaught of punches, powerful punches. First he starts up at the head, then he brings them down to the body, but oh, got knocked down there.
And from the southpaw position.
Yeah.
Juarez said when he started, he was very scared. He said when the switch goes on, I'm a different person, and he is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a college student now. He studies nutrition at the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. I mean, he's an accomplished kid already, but in the ring, very impressive. The complete package, round 2. Kevin Shaxs in the black trunks, Juarez in the blue and gold. And you see the punches landed 25-5 for Juarez, but it is all Juarez. And you know what? Shaxs was blocking some of those shots nicely, Joe, and yet it didn't matter.
He was. No, he's been in with some really good fighters. Like I said, he went the distance with a guy that was 8-0 and 8 knockouts in Alejandro Ramos in his last fight. And here he is with a guy who doesn't have as many knockouts, but he just got taken down twice in the last round.
I mean, his punches are short, tight, hard, fast, and they're coming from all angles, Lennox. Good jab, too.
When I was fighting, I always brought 2 pair of shoes just in case there was a slippery canvas. And sometimes some of the marking on the canvas can be slippery as well, especially when it gets wet.
That's right.
But he's sliding, even his right foot slid there, and there's no reason for it. There's no wetness there. He's just planting.
No, you know what it is probably, Brian, is that these shoes he's using, he probably uses in the gym. They're probably a little worn out, and the grip on them is probably a little worn out, and they're slipping. That's the only thing I can think of right now.
And imagine you're facing Omar Juarez, who's drilling you, and you have that on top of it.
Yeah, I remember one time I was slipping in the ring, and then my corner just took the scissors and started scraping the bottom of my shoes.
Right. Were they leather bottom?
Yes, they were.
Well, no wonder. I mean, a little water on the bottom too would have helped.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
5th fight of 2019 for Juarez. Serious young man, and really bringing it here as he gets his first fight here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena.
I think right now, if I was Juarez, I really want to put on some pressure. I don't know why he'd give up any ground to Shaxs after knocking him down twice. I would be going for the knockout right now. I'd be encouraging that for Juarez if I were in his corner. He had his way with him so easily in the first round. Why step off the gas in the second?
Maybe he wants to put in a couple rounds, or let Shaq come to him, open himself up a little bit, so he can take advantage of the counter punching.
I say the less time you spend in the ring, the better. If you can take this guy out, take him out.
Well, to your point, Joe, right? Shaxs has got to be relieved that Juarez has brought it back to second gear.
I agree.
Let me breathe a little bit, and maybe he can get brave in this fight, get a little rhythm. Counter hook by Juarez. There, he's drilling to the body again. He seems to be able to. He's in a good position to punch wherever he comes out too. He digs in that hook beautifully. Then a hook to the head. Round 2 slowing down though. Juarez still dangerous. Shaxs so far surviving. Luis Ortiz is in the building here at the MGM. Coming in at 241.5 pounds. Excuse me, he was 241.5 for the first fight against Wilder. 5 pounds lighter for this one, but his body is even more transformed than that, Lennox. We expect to see a very trimmed down, in shape Ortiz tonight in the rematch.
Yeah, he's taking it very serious. Obviously, he's gone away, lost some weight, said he wasn't in a great shape, Now he's come back in better shape, way better shape, so he feels more confident. So we should see a different fight from him.
He had a full camp, 12-week training camp after 6 weeks, just light training at home. Here, round 3, Omar Juarez, Kevin Shacks in the black trunks. Juarez outlanded Shacks by a wide margin, but certainly the second round, very different from the first round. And I know, Joe, you thought, hey, man, if you can take a guy out, take him out quick.
Well, yeah, if I'm in the corner and I have a guy like Juarez who's very accurate, aggressive puncher, I would say, why let Shacks back in the fight? You just let him back in the fight. You had him down twice in the first round. Let's continue with that strategy and put him out in the second round. Or at least set him up big time for the third round. And I just thought he took the foot off his gas.
Sometimes it's okay because, you know, you go out there and you may hurt him in the first round, and then the second round, Shacks could have been in the defensive mode, and Juarez could just be punching himself out. You just let him back in the ring, let him back in the fight a little bit more, and then go back in on your attack.
It's hard to punch yourself out in a 6-round fight when you're an undefeated fighter who trains like a guy like Juarez. You should be able to throw 80 to 100 punches around at this weight right here when you're a young kid. I mean, there's no, you know, I don't say hold back. You know, I had fighters that would fight and throw 100 to 120. Look, Chris Arreola averaged 120 punches against Kovnowski around, and those are heavyweights.
No, but what I'm saying, it's still early in the fight. Shaq could come out with a hard punch and hurt you while you're trying to punch him.
I don't know about that. He's only got 3 knockouts in
but remember, Juarez is coming forward. So when you're coming forward, you're helping the guy.
Well, that's if you've got poor defense. Juarez has got great defense, and I think, you know, if you just apply, looked like he hurt his right hand. You see him kind of wave that around.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on that with Omar Juarez. By the way, I think you both have good points.
Yeah.
I'm leaning closer to Joe in that, like, if you got the guy hurt, don't let him get brave. He's an older guy. Juarez he's 20 years old. He's only 5 pro fights. So he's very inexperienced. It's just like when you're watching him, he doesn't look like he's a 5-fight fighter.
No, exactly my point. He's a very bright guy. Look, you just talk to the kid, and he just exudes intelligence, and he's got it in the ring here. But again, we could argue this all day. He's doing what he's doing. Let's see if he can knock Shacks out. I'd say winning the fight is going to be an obvious thing, but knocking him out's another.
Good showcase so far for Omar Juarez. Kevin Shacks hanging in. Omar Juarez tells high school kids the 6 principles of life. No excuses, discipline, confidence, strategy, self-worth. Did I miss one? I'll work on that. Well, there's 5 of the 6 principles of life, Joe.
I counted on the first 3, and Lennox was supposed to take the next 3.
You were told there would be no math. Round 4 here, Omar Juarez in the blue and white trunks, and Kevin Shacks in the black trunks. And a very impressive start for Omar Juarez. 2 knockdowns in the first round. Kevin Shacks in survival mode, but to his credit, he has survived so far.
Yes, Kevin Shacks has only been stopped in one time in 10 fights. Oh, that was a nice double hook by Juarez, but yeah. So he's a durable guy, and I mean, you can just tell he's in great shape. And he doesn't want to come to Las Vegas and be embarrassed. He wants to win this fight. So, you know, he's not going to be an easy guy to take out, but boy, once you got that momentum going as a fighter and as a trainer, if I'm in the corner, I don't want that momentum to stop. But obviously, for some reason, Juarez is content to box him.
Let's go back to round 3. I know Lennox and Joe, you guys saw this. Was there an injury somewhere?
Oh, that was a hyperextension.
Absolutely,
yeah. That's not even a question.
It happens
Watch,
sometimes.
you can see his elbow invert. Watch. Oh, man, that's nasty.
So you saw that live. You saw him shake it afterwards. So let's keep an eye on that right hand here in round 4. Is he throwing it?
Well, I will tell you that can make you not want to throw the right hand again. And those can be very dangerous in the long run if you don't have those checked out really well, which I'm sure he will do after the fight.
He just didn't, you normally you throw the right hand and you snap it back right away, and he let it hang out there like he thought he was going to, I guess when he didn't have any resistance to hit anybody.
Well, that's true, yeah. It's always better when you throw a hard punch like that to hit something, because if you miss, it's the power keeps following through, and you saw what happened. It inverted the elbow because so much power being thrown there.
Floyd Patterson used to tell me, you don't just throw it, you throw it and bring it back.
Well,
Yeah,
absolutely.
he's right.
He was the heavyweight champion.
Yeah, did you ever see him fight?
This is just starting, I
Oh,
can
good
tell.
right hand. Well, so Juarez did throw the right hand there. But, yeah, no, I once had a great trainer. What you're saying is exactly right. He said, Joe, it's not how fast you get the punch out, it's how fast you get your hands back.
Good point. We'll see Juarez and keep an eye on that right hand and see. And to your point of the first two, he had an easy first round and then seemed to ease back a bit. Not that he's in any danger of losing this fight, but certainly it's the complexion of it has changed. He got caught there with a right hand, and he could be a one-armed fighter right now. Interesting fight. We're through 4. And there's Omar Juarez again, hyperextending his right arm on a punch, full round back. As we get into round 5 here, scheduled for 6. I know, Joe, we were listening in the corner. Did you hear anything, especially from Rudy Juarez, who's in Omar's corner?
No, Rudy told him just keep working the jab, and then Bob Santos, who was on the outside of the ropes, chimed in and said, be careful. He's looking for that one counter shot with the right hand, which he did land in the last round.
Which proves to my point to be careful. He shouldn't be rushing in there.
Well, it wasn't that he was rushing in. What he did is he had his left hand down, and that's why he got countered. He threw a right hand, and Shax countered with his right hand. But you can see, look where Omar carries his left hand. He carries it down low.
He threw a right hand there, but he seems to be a lot more careful with it. You almost have to you almost have to show your opponent you do have it sometimes, don't you, Lennox, even if it's hurt?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's still throwing it.
Because you can't think that you can't throw that right hand at all. Then you can bum rush the guy. You get right on top of him.
Plus the adrenaline is in him, and he'll probably feel it after the fight.
And look, Juarez is not fighting the way he was in that first round. This is no question.
No, he's using the left hand a lot. But did you see that beautiful move off the rope, and a spin move, and then pin Shax on the rope?
And
that
the way
was really nice.
and Joe, the way he throws the hook off that is a thing of beauty. There's no question. This kid, it's an educated kid in and out of the ring.
Yeah.
Let's go to Larry Hazard right now. Larry, how do you see it?
Well, right now, guys, I got it 36-34. Juarez had a very good first round, scoring two knockdowns. So I scored that round 10-7. So my overall score right now is 36-34. I got Juarez comfortably ahead after 4.
No, 40-34, Larry, right? That's what every round for Juarez.
Yes, 40-34.
Okay, yeah. I thought so. He's winning every round here. Shax was winning any rounds. But certainly Juarez looks like a different fighter here. I mean, he was a bulldozer in the first round. Both hands up and down.
Now, in all fairness, he's throwing the right hand again. He threw a nice right hand over there, but I guarantee he probably still feels a little effect of that if he falls short with the right hand like he just did there a second ago.
Oh, absolutely. I would have to agree with that comment because he's throwing more lefts, especially to the body.
Again, to go back to the big picture, it's a 20-year-old kid, 5 pro fights. I mean, I know you like Milnecki too as well, Joe, but what impressive young fighters we're seeing tonight.
Yeah, look, Milnecki, it'll take a few more outings to see exactly what he's got, but boy, it was an impressive fight, and his style and his look and his just overall demeanor is great.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to put on some weight as well and move up in a couple classes.
Kevin Milnecki, 17 years old. Omar Juarez, 20 years old. We'll be back. Back in Las Vegas, Brian Kenny with Lennox Lewis and Joe Goosen here on FS2, getting ready for the big pay-per-view. Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz. Final round here. A very impressive Omar Juarez against Kevin Shax. And by the way, fellas, I found the 6th principle of life that Omar tells high school kids. There's no excuses, confidence, discipline, strategy, self-worth. You know what I couldn't read?
What?
Teamwork.
Yeah.
Maybe that's telling, Joe.
Maybe because that's not in your vocabulary.
That is, if that's not a Freudian slip, I mean, there's no such thing.
In the meantime, Shax landed a good right hand just now. After a left, I think Omar threw a good left hook and then got countered with the right hand. So, Shax is still trying to win this fight, Brian.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to be surprised. We thought that would be over in the first round. I certainly did. Again, Shax has only had 10 amateur MMA fights. He was 0-2 as a pro. He comes in here with this record. It's under 500, and yet he has given it a shot. given a game effort, in top shape, and weathered a terrible storm in the first round from Juarez.
Yeah, and the referee, Vic Draculich, sized up the situation very well. Of course, one of the great veterans of all time. And, you know, decided to let the fight go on. And as it turns out, he's proven right.
Well, that's what Marco Bailey was looking for in the last fight, too. Like, can you let this go? Can you let me take a count?
I think there was a lot more reason to stop that fight.
I wondered if this should be fight. I agree with you, but I was wondering if that one was going to be stopped too. You thought that was the right call, but
I do.
Bears out right now.
Because I think he got hurt to the body in the second knockdown.
Oh, boy. That's a knockdown? Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Shot to the body. Shax goes down. Looked like he slipped as well, but certainly that came from a punch initially.
9.
Vic Draculich says that's enough. He barely got up at 10. That was a hard body shot. And certainly Shax slipping. Again, his legs slipped out from under him. But that from a body shot as he tries to suck in a little bit of air. And Juarez has his knockout.
And that's impressive because Kevin Shax is in great shape. He really was trying to fight his heart out here. And he's only been stopped one other time. So that's a big feather in Omar Juarez's hat.
We want to take another look at this again. There was just a body shot blocked by it. And
so look, the little right hand.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. It wasn't a body punch. It was a straight right hand.
Yeah.
That hit him right in the chest?
In the chin.
Right on the chin.
Oh,
Boom, right there.
Yeah.
There we go.
So much for a sore elbow. And then he spins out, pivots out, and just lets Shax fall.
So Juarez's right hand actually came through in the last round.
Wow, short as well. One shot. We'll step away for a moment. There it is on the button. Juarez 6-0, a winner in Vegas. And moments ago, Omar Juarez right up the middle, a beautiful right hand after he had hurt that right elbow. And he ends the night. Kevin Shax, a spectacular performance by Omar Juarez. He is now 6-0 as the arena starts to fill up, getting closer now toward the main event and the big fights. Let's go to Jimmy Lennon and get the particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute 59 seconds in round number 6. Our referee in charge, Vic Draculich, reaches the count of 10. He is the winner by way of knockout and still undefeated, Omar El Relámpago